Hello, I am Evelyn Jack, originally from Memphis, Tennessee, living here in Knoxville, Tennessee. I am a professional musician. I also work part-time for Knox County Schools 3 days a week. I'm a literacy tutor working with elementary school kids. Love it. Love the music more though, but I still love the kids.
Do you remember what your first memories of music were?
My first memories of music would have to be in the church because I am a gospel musician. First thing, always first thing, a gospel musician. That's what I was taught. I was, as you say, reared by my parents to be a musician. My mother was a believer in her children being at church and doing the Lord's work however she intended for us to do it, because we were at church every Sunday, Sunday school, church, everything else after that. I was always the one who sang everything for every program, and my sister always read whatever needed to be read. But I was the one for every program, for anybody's church, I was the one who she volunteered to sing. That was my very first memory of music.
At what age did you start singing?
I'd like to say that I actually started singing at 5 years old. That's when she heard me sing and she knew that I could sing. And she said, well, Evelyn, this is what we're going to do. And that's what I did. My mother sang, and my father was in a quartet. But that's how they planned our lives. And I'd like to think that I am doing as they wanted me to do.
When did you first start performing outside of the church?
I would say I started hanging around a musician in Knoxville. She's deceased now. She was a singer on Bill Street. Her name was Ruby Wilson. I started hanging out with her. She and my friend Deborah Henry, who sings for Patti Labelle, she and I would always hang up behind Ruby, and she'd invite me and Deborah to sing maybe a song on her gig. Everywhere she went, we went. You know, that would be my first time. And then after that, outside, of course, I sang with the choir at church and in high school. In fact, to note, I was the first African-American female to get a full ride to an HBCU college. It was Virginia Union University in Richmond, Virginia. I got a full ride there in vocal music. And while I was in college, I was in a band. I had my own band in college. That's how I made my extra money. I used to cut hair on the weekends and sing on the weekends too. So those were my gigs.
So who would you say were your early vocal influences?
Most definitely my early vocal influences were Aretha Franklin, Chaka Khan, all those ones, and Patti LaBelle. I tried to get her notes, but back then I could. Right now, not so much. But I just do the best I can. I stay in my lane as much as I can. But those were my vocal influences. A lot of the songs that I did, even during my gigs in college, were Aretha Franklin's music. And in fact, I was on a showcase in college, and this gentleman from Nashville, who was a radio personality, was coming through, and somebody told him that there was a band performing, and it happened to be my band. And he invited me to leave school and come to Nashville. He was gonna make me a star, but I couldn't do it because I knew I would piss my mama off if I left school like that. I wanted to go. I was tempted, I'm not gonna lie, but I couldn't do it.